Hi, I'm Cheryl. Today we're going to use a technique I've seen called a couple different things. Smooshing or smooching, or I don't know what else you'd want to call it, but it's my video and I'm going to call it plastic wrap smooshing. So we'll need a little bit of plastic wrap. I tore a square off and just crinkled it up. We'll need a fine tip glue pen, or if you don't have that, Tombow will do. We'll be using two re-inkers. One is Garden Green and the other is Tempting Turquoise. You'll need something to put the ink on. I have a little plastic tray thing here. A foam plate or ceramic plate would work too. And we'll also be using the Night of Navy ink pad. The stamps we're using will come from the Touches of Texture, and we'll be using this big splattery one. And I'm using this sentiment from Beautiful You. It's Live with Passion, Laugh Out Loud, Love Deeply. And then also the Celebrate stamp. And then from the Dragonfly Dreams, I'm not using any of the stamps, but from the dies, I'll be using this one, the little I don't know what you call a little flight of dragonflies. You'll want some Snail Adhesive, and for this one I'm going to use some scrap paper too to do my my smooshing on. So let's get started on that. Oh, I didn't tell you what paper you need. You need some Whisper White, a piece 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. A piece of Night of Navy, that's 5 1/4 by 4. A piece of Garden Green, that's 5 by 3 3/4. And a piece of Whisper White, 4 3/4 by 3.5. And all of the sizes will be down below. And then a piece of Shimmery White. You'll need a 4 by 3 piece. I've already pre-cut my little flight of dragonflies. So, but that's about the size you'll need to cut them out. So, let's start smooshing. As messy as I get with ink, this should be really interesting. So, take your inkers, and I'm using just straight ink. I'm not adding any water to this or alcohol. I want my colors to be nice and bright and vibrant, so I'm not going to dilute them at all. We'll keep those handy because we'll need to refill every now and then. So you just take your little wad of plastic wrap and try to get your fingers back out of the way, and we just start to smoosh. Want lots of color in the center here, and we'll get some of the green and we'll start putting that in down here. And this will be our card front that we're working on right now. Alright, and that looks pretty good for the smooshing part. Nice and splattered. Now, on my card front, on the card base, I want it to have some smoosh all around the edges here too. So So we'll just smoosh that all over. Let's get some little green in there. You just need to go along the edge because the rest of it will be covered up. All right, now let me get a clean piece of paper. And I didn't show you the inside of the card, but we're going to smoosh on the inside too. You see? So let me put a couple more drops of the blue, the tempting turquoise, out here. And I'm going to re-smoosh my plastic wrap a little. There we go. And see, this is fun, isn't it? So far I haven't made too much of a mess either. Okay, I think we need to get some green in there now. That looks pretty good with the blue. Now there's a reason that I used some scrap paper this time. Usually I just put it down on my mat. I have the silicone mat here. Okay, I think that's enough. But the reason is I wanted to keep the back of the card fairly clean. I got a little messy on the original, so I wanted to keep the back of the card. So that's why I'm using that. And I can get rid of that plastic wrap because that's nasty now. All right, now I need some stamps. Where'd my Celebrate stamp go? And we need our Night of Navy ink. Alright. I'm going to put, this is going to be my bottom, so I'm going to put Celebrate right here. Sorry, I have to turn this around. Get that inked up real good. And we put Celebrate right there. Okay. We're going to keep that handy because we need to come back to that. And on the inside of the card, we'll do the Live, Laugh, and Love sentiment. Get that inked up real nice. Try to get that nice and straight on there. And that came out pretty good. Alright, so that's done. And now we need the big splatter one. And it's more concentrated in the middle here. We want a nice dark area so that our dragonflies show up really good against this background. So we'll ink that up and just start stamping it, as we need lots and lots of that navy color in the center here. You want it almost solid, not quite. You see how much I put on there? See, that's what you want to go for. So I'll just put that aside. Let's get rid of that ink tray, so I don't put my arm in it. And we'll bring out our little dragonflies. And I just flip them over, and I'm gonna put some glue on the backs. You don't have to get real crazy with it, just wherever you think you need to have it tacked down. Okay, that should be enough. Put that aside. Now comes the hard part, finding a place to pick these guys up. And I'll just put them a little bit of an angle and press that down. Oop. There we go. Now it's sticking. I think my ink was still a little wet. We did put a lot of ink on there. Alright, there we go. That's good. Now we can start working on the layers. I'm just going to put this aside a little bit and let that dry a little bit more. Okay, so our garden green will go on top of the Night of Navy. Just center that. Then put some snail on the back of the Night of Navy and center that. See, now we have that nice little smooshed border around the edge. And this bit here. And we center that. And there we go. Our card is finished. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you'd like to shop with me, you can do that either through my website or my Facebook page. If you liked my video, press like. If you'd like to see more of my videos, then hit the subscribe button. Y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.